The Saints added another weapon to their offense, this time in the form of a tight end. We'll talk about their 7th-round pick right here on the Straight Up Saints podcast.
You're listening to the Straight Up Saints podcast.
What is up, Who Dat Nation? Welcome inside another edition of the Straight Up Saints podcast. I'm your host, Chris Rosvogel, and as always, the Straight Up Saints podcast is brought to you by Scott Vicknair Injury Lawyers. You've been injured in any kind of accident, car, truck, 18-wheeler, or hurt offshore. Scott Vicknair handles it all. You give him a call at 504-500-1111 for a free consultation. They'll always fight for the win. With their first of two seventh-round selections, the Saints have decided to go with Moliki Matavao from UCLA, a tight end. This is a position that I thought was pretty deep in this class, and I was hoping the Saints would take one. Obviously thought maybe be a little earlier, get a more polished prospect. But here's what I would say about Moliki, who I'll have to end up watching a little bit more of, obviously, but was able to watch briefly some UCLA games this year. Was not exactly a team that I keyed on. One thing about his career, though, is there's definitely that upward trajectory of production. Started at Oregon, worked his way to UCLA, and you've kind of seen going from a guy that's not really putting up production to 200 yards to, I believe it was 500 yards receiving this past year. So that's a positive. I believe personally, though, when you look at guys like this right now, you're probably just trying to add players where you like traits and hope that maybe they can develop in your system at the next level, maybe on the practice squad for a year. And this might be it for Matavao. So look, I think he's a pretty solid athlete. I think he's going to have to get better in terms of being a run blocker to have any chance at making the roster. And the reason I say that is when you're a younger player, particularly at the tight end position, if you're not able to be super versatile, it's hard to kind of crack that 53 going into week one, especially as a rookie. But look, I would say this, there's something about him kind of over the middle of the field, working the field. There's been moments where especially in terms of short passing downs, be able to kind of slip out from that blocking stance and get yourself open. And you know, how capable are you to do that at the next level? I don't know, but I don't mind the Saints adding weapons. Like I said, I would have loved had they gone earlier in this draft, adding a tight end or a running back. They waited till late day 3. Could these end up being steals? Of course, but for now, it's more so of kind of hoping and praying that you end up hitting on this pick. But so far for today, the Saints have been quite busy. Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma, got Quincy Riley from Louisville, who I've been watching more and more of today, and that seems to be a pick that probably, if you had a bank on a day 3 pick, that might be the one that seems like the most ready to make an impact for the Saints. Got Devin Neal from Kansas to add some juice to the backfield. And then Moliki Matavao from UCLA. Maybe give yourself a little bit of a project at tight end, and we'll see if that ends up working out for the Saints. But as always, guys, let me know in the comments section below if you like this pick for the Saints, if you dislike it, maybe something about this prospect or this position group that you're hoping to see change for New Orleans in the future. And as always, make sure to subscribe to Boo Crew Media because we'll have you covered here on the Straight Up Saints podcast, the destination for the Who Dat Nation.